Good morning everyone. Myself R. Venkatesh, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Vignan Sridhara. So today I am going to discuss about the database management system. So before going to the database management system subject, we would like to know the basics of a DBMS, the fundamental concepts of a database management system. Okay, so the first one is, what is a data? So data is a collection of distinct small unit of information. So it can be used in a variety of forms like text, numbers, media, bytes, etc. It can be stored in a pieces of paper or electronic memory, etc. Okay, so the word data is originated from the word datum. That means a single piece of information. So the data is nothing but facts and the statistics stored or free flowing over a network. So generally it's a raw and unprocessed. So mostly the data represents recordable facts. Next, what is information? The data becomes information when it is processed or turning it into something meaningful. So the data aids in producing information which is based on facts. For example, if we have data about marks obtained by our students, we can then conclude about toppers and average marks. We can take another example. Based on the cookies data saved on user's browser, if a website can analyze generally men of age 20 to 25 visit us more. So that is information derived from the data which is collected. Okay, so based on the cookies data which is saved on the user's browser, okay, so the website is generally men of age 20 to 25 visit us more. So that is information. Why we need data? We need the data so that we can perform various actions on them. We do not have any database and we want to record what is the height and weight of a baby in a year. So what we do is note it in a piece of paper every month. At the end of a certain period or a year, we will check up if he or she is growing correctly. If some entry is wrong or irrelevant, we correct it or strike it off. The same is done using the database. We will be storing all this information in the database. If we want to check the growth, we would be pulling the information from the database. If we need to change any information, we can update or delete them. But all the data will be in one place, that is database. Okay, so what is a database? So a database is a collection of related data organized in a way that the data can be easily accessed, managed and updated. So it is a collection of interrelated data which helps in efficient retrieval, insertion, deletion of data from database and organizes the data in the form of tables, views, schemas, reports, etc. For example, the university database. Okay, so the university database organizes the data about students, faculty and admin staff, etc. So which helps in efficient retrieval, insertion and deletion of data from it. So during early computer days, the data was collected and stored on a tapes, which are mostly write only, which means once the data is stored on it, it can never be read again. The main purpose of the database is to operate a large amount of information by storing, retrieving and managing the data. What is the purpose of a database system? The main purpose of a database system is to manage the data. Consider a university that keeps the data of a students, teachers, courses, books, etc. To manage this data, we need to store this data somewhere where we can add new data or delete data or update the outdated data and retrieve the data. So to perform all these operations, on data, we need a database management system. Okay, so that allows us to store the data in such a way so that all these operations can perform on the data efficiently. Okay, so you can see the example here. Okay, so I'm having a sample database, so which contains a number of rows and columns. Okay, so the column represents attributes and the rows represents records of a table. The next one is what is DBMS. So DBMS equal to database plus management system. Okay, so database is a collection of information and management system is nothing but a set of programs. So the database management system is a software for storing and retrieving users' data while considering an appropriate security measures. It consists of a group of programs which manipulate the database. The DBMS accepts the request for data from an application and instructs the operating system to provide the specific data. In large systems, a DBMS helps users and other third-party software to store and retrieve data. The DBMS allows users to create their own databases as per their requirement. The term DBMS, which includes the user of the database and other application programs. It provides an interface between the data and the software application. Okay, so here some of the examples of a popular database management system. Okay, MySQL, Oracle, SQL Server and IBM DB2. What is the need of DBMS? Database systems are basically developed for large amount of data. So when dealing with huge amount of data, there are two things that require optimization. The first one is storage of the data, and the second one is retrieval of data. Coming to the first one, storage of the data. According to a database systems, the data is stored in such a way that it acquires lesser space as the redundant data has been removed before storage. So let's take an example. Okay, so in a banking system, suppose a customer is having two accounts. One is saving account and another is salary account. Okay, so the bank stores saving account data at one place and salary account data at another place. Okay, so these places are called tables. Okay, in that case, if the customer information such as customer name, address, etc. are stored at both places, then this is just a wastage of storage. Okay, so to organize the data in a better way, the information should be stored at one place and both the accounts should be linked to that information. The same thing which we achieve in DBMS. The same thing we achieve in DBMS. The second thing is fast retrieval of data. Along with storage of the data in an optimized and systematic manner, it is also important that we retrieve the data quickly when needed. So the database systems ensures that the data is retrieved as quickly as possible. So coming to the next one, the characteristics of database management system. Database management system having different types of characteristics. Okay, so the first one is data stored into tables. So the data is never directly stored into the database. Data is stored into tables created inside the database. DBMS also allows to have relationships between tables, which makes the data more meaningful and connected. So you can easily understand what type of data is stored by looking at all the tables created inside a database. Reduced redundancy. So in the modern world, hard drives are very cheap. But earlier, when the hard drives are too expensive, unnecessary repetition of data in a database was a big problem. But DBMS follows normalization, which divides the data in such a way that repetition is minimum. The third characteristic is data consistency. So data that is being continuously updated and added maintaining the consistency of data can become a challenge. But DBMS handles it all by itself. Support multiple user and concurrent access. DBMS allows multiple users to work on it, update, insert, delete data at the same time, and still manages to maintain the data consistency. Next one is query language. DBMS provides users with a simple query language using which data can be easily fetched, inserted, deleted, and updated in a database. The next one is security. The DBMS also takes care of the security of the data, protecting the data from unauthorized access. So in a typical DBMS, we can create user accounts with different access permissions, using which we can easily secure our data by restricting user access. The next one is transactions. So the DBMS supports transactions, so which allows us to better handle and manage the data integrity in real-world applications where multi-threading is extensively used. The next one is ACID properties. So DBMS follows the concepts of atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. Okay, so these concepts are applied on transactions which manipulate the data in a database. ACID properties helps the database stay healthy in multi-transactional environment and in case of failure. So coming to the next one, applications of database management system. So the first one is railway reservation system. So in the railway reservation system, the database is required to store the record or data of ticket bookings, status about trains arrival and departure. Also, if trains get late, people get to know it through database update. Library management system. So there are lots of books in the library. So it is tough to store the record of all the books in a register or a copy. So the database management system, DBMS, is used to maintain all the information related to name of the book, issue date, availability of the book, and its author. The next one is banking. Database management system is used to store the transactional information of the customer in a database. Education sector. So presently examinations are conducted online by many colleges and universities. They manage all the examinations data through the database management system. Okay, so the students' registration details, grades, courses, fees, attendance, results, etc. So all the information is stored in a database. Credit card transaction. Database management system is used to purchasing on credit cards and generation of monthly statements. Social media sites. So we all use of social media websites to connect with friends and to share our views with the world. So daily millions of pupils sign up for these social media accounts like Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, Google+, etc. So by the use of the database management system, all the information of users are stored in the database and we become able to connect with other people. Telecommunication. The database management system is necessary for these companies to store the call details and monthly postpaid bills in the database. Next one is finance. The DBMS is used for storing information about sales, holding and purchase of financial instruments such as stocks and bonds in a database. Online shopping. So these days online shopping has become a big trend. No one wants to visit the shop and waste their time. Everyone wants to shop through online shopping. Okay, such as Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal, etc. So all the products are sold and only with the help of database management system. Invoice, bills, payments, purchase information, all of these are done with the help of DBMS. Next one, human resource management. So big companies have many workers or employees working under them. So they store the information about employee salary, tax and work with the help of database management system. The next one is manufacturing. So the manufacturing companies make different types of products and sell them on a daily basis. So in order to keep the information about their products like bills, purchase of the product, quantity, supply chain management, the database management system is used. The final one is airline reservation system. So this system is the same as the railway reservation system. So this system also uses a database management system to store the records of flight's departure, arrival and delay status. Thank you so much.